Hey guys, Rick Scholl here. I guess it's Insurrectionist Day. They're still touting that crap. It's the 6th of January 2021 here in the Philippines anyway. But we're doing okay. We went up today. We tried the car wash up here. There's a new one they built close by here. It's like a chain one. They got a whole bunch of stores, so we figured we'd give them a try. They're a little bit more expensive than where we used to get our car washed, but they did a fantastic job. They really got in there. I got it washed and waxed, had the engine bay cleaned out and all that, and I'm looking it over thinking, wow, they did a really good job. Even the windows, they got the windows real good. Sometimes I'd go to the other place and they'd get the windows and there'd be, streaks. As soon as you don't notice it until you drive at night, and then you start seeing all that glare. But they did a fantastic job on the car, so I was happy about that. Kids are out. They love these bikes. I'm telling you, I'm so happy we found a good brand. Guys, I'm going to tell you what right now. If you want a good quality budget bike here in the Philippines, if you don't want to spend just a huge amount of money like on a Giant or something at the mall where they want 30, 35,000, 38,000 and more, 50. I've seen them for 58 and all this. This way. The battle bikes are made well. It's got Shimano gearing on them. Dorothy's came. I had to do a little bit of adjustment on it. The shifter was good, but it was the brake. Brake was dragging, so I did a little adjustment on that, tightened her back down. Maddie's had a little bit of a adjustment problem on his shifter because he shifted it without pedaling. He just cranked the thing over real hard, and so that kind of took it out of whack a little bit, so I had to get in there and adjust that yesterday. I told him you can't do this unless you're pedaling, so he's getting it. But I was watching a guy here. He's a British guy, and he's a funeral director, and he was talking about funerals over there and how the numbers are going up, and it's just the job of folks. But the thing that really got me now that I just saw, and I put it on the Telegram for you guys to take a look at, it's the insurance guys. The people who have these life insurance policies, the guy said it's 40% increase from previous years. And he said in the event of a natural disaster, where there's a whole bunch of people wiped out and all that kind of stuff in a certain area, he said that might be a 10% increase. He said, this is huge. This is super huge. And they won't say it. They just will not come out and say it's because of this thing that they're giving people. They won't do it. They just, and if I say something right here, I'm sure they'd hammer me, probably shut the channel down or whatever the hell, all the crap that they pull. They just want to try to keep this from everybody. And there's even people we know getting sick here in the Philippines. So, jury's still out on this. Guys, I don't understand why they're pushing this. The president here said, he wants the LGUs to bust people that are unvaxxed and outside, and it's like, this is an experimental thing. This is still an experiment. They got calls going into these companies, and they say what the FDA okayed is not what they have. You can't even get that one. They okayed another one, not the one that they're giving people. This is a huge experiment. You are a lab rat, guys, if you take this thing. It's exactly what you are. And this is out now. This is common knowledge now. And they want to push the kids. They want to push it to get into kids because they keep their liability from it. But it's just crazy. Now I just seen also Canada. They want a big deal where they can't make it mandatory for the government workers, which is really good. I just can't understand how they can mandate any of this crap. None of it. I remember when I was a little kid, there was a lot of the vaccine stuff, and I had a buddy in school. They gave him a vaccine, and it just fried him. It just fried his entire head. He's one of these ones that just beats his head against the wall now. It's just all messed up. And then when I was a little bit older, there was one fella when I was in the service, and he got, they line you up and they give you tons of these things. And I was telling him, you don't have to get them. He said, man, I don't want these. I don't want them. And they gave him a bunch of them. He was dead in a couple of days. He got some kind of toxic something or another from that, and he was dead. Just boom, gone. A couple of days later, he went into some kind of a spasms, and they wouldn't come out even then and say it was from any kind of a jab. But all I know is he was gone. He seemed like a pretty nice dude, and all through the years they've been having trouble with these things. You're better off with eat right, eat good food, eat vegetables, and try to keep yourself fit. Do lots of walking if you can't. Like me, I can't run anymore, but I can walk, and we ride our bikes. Kids love to go for the bike rides. We're going to go up to, we have to go up into town today. Not this town here, but Padre. And we're going to we got to get some onions and potatoes and get our vegetables. We did some shopping. Here they're wanting the Jabba the Hutt card. So we just went to our old neighborhood. I did my big shopping there, but we forgot a few things. I forgot to get some stuff. So we got to go back and get a little bit more stuff. We definitely need the veggies and all that. So, but I got, hopefully I'm going to be getting my computer here real soon. That should be coming. Dorothy, I'll tell you what, she's really liking her bike. First thing this morning, she got up. She always comes and gives me a big hug and stuff. And she said, I'm going to go ride my bike. And just off she went. So I was really happy to get her that one. We're going to give the other one away. Faye wants to see about getting it to her sister, but that's in Mindoro, and it's like, something. If I'm going to give something away, I don't like the idea that it's going to cost me a fortune to give it away. I just don't. If I'm going to have to pay to ship the thing all the way down there just to give it away, I don't want to do that. I just don't. It's be a hassle right now. So, I'd rather just give it to somebody local here and don't worry about it. It's not like it's a great bike or anything like that. It's getting rust all over. It wasn't an expensive one at all. And a lot of these Chinese-made bikes, they don't use stainless screws on anything. Even though they say they do, they don't. They got some kind of a silver chrome stuff they put on them, and they rust and rot anyway. So that's a real bummer about that. But we got a few items coming yet. I ordered, I found a place that has hats my size. I got my derby, and then I got that top hat. Well, the place also has, I didn't know this. I followed the store, but nothing popped up. And then I went into the store and I found out they got all kinds of hats that have it's 64 centimeters is what I need. And they had belts too. And the belts I need they got to be, my waist is a 110. So I got to have like 130, 140 for a belt. Hey, dog, don't do that. So I got some belts too, and they were cheap. It was 45 pesos each, and kind of like the military ones, the nylon ones. Why'd you knock this over, bub? Huh? Well, it's laying over. Okay, but yeah, we'll get our shopping done, and I'm glad the car's all cleaned and shined up. They didn't put any of that shiny stuff on the tires or anything, no, but I'm glad it's cleaned up. We haven't really cleaned it that much since we've been here. It's just was a mess. The inside was getting bad, but they did a pretty good job on the inside. Hey, don't do that, dog. No bite. Biting the slippers. She likes to get mine. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. We're going to do our little bit of a road trip here. Got to get the water in. We do buy this water here from our neighbor. The neighbor down there, he's the guy who has the company that sells the water. And we get that. Plus, we have a reverse osmosis also under the sink. It's a tankless one, though. So what happens is, these bikes kickstands. That's one thing about these bikes, though, the kickstands are too long, and there's no way to adjust them because these bikes fall over real easy, all of them. It's really silly, but yeah, our reverse osmosis doesn't have a tank on it, so it doesn't store your water for you and then stop when it's full. We just turn it on when we need it, and that's what we use for all our cooking. We don't use the tap water for anything, guys. I know the last place we lived, when it was before we had GMA water. We had changed our water company to GMA water, and we still had the San Juan Jajeco water, I think it was called. And what happened with that water, I took a little bit with me because I had a buddy that worked at there's a big reservoir around where we lived, and he does the testing for the water. They test that water that's going through their system every day. As the water goes through the system, he pulls a little tap thing off and he tests it. And these are big lines going out of there. It's I don't know, 12 billion gallon reservoirs, huge reservoir, goes for miles and miles. But they're always checking the water. And I gave him a little sample of the water, and I says, "Hey, could you check this out for me?" He wanted to call the police and go shut this thing down. He wanted to shut this. I said, what are you talking about? He says, that water, you don't drink that. You cannot drink that. He said, holy cow. He goes, it's off the scales on everything. He said, you don't want to touch this water. And he said, where did you get that? We got, you can't use that well. And I said, it's not from the well. This is water I got from my house in the Philippines. He's like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. People don't even, he was like, don't even bathe in it. He goes, don't even bathe in this water. He says, it's just totally polluted. So, oh, that was pretty crazy. Now, when we did get the GMA water, when we had them come and run a new line and everything, we had good pressure after that. I never did get it tested. I don't know. But that worked out good. And the other thing too, when we were over there, when we had the water, a lot of people say, you get a pipe coming from the main line, and they'll say, oh, hey, can we tap into your pipe? We'll pay for half of it, or if there's two people, we'll pay a third of it. And you know what you tell them every time? Nope, because you won't have any pressure. We were like at the end, and we had people saying, oh, we want to tap into your line, and we wanted to know, you want water? Well, the people across the street, there were 3 of them that tapped on. She got the line, and they wanted so much money to turn this thing on, and there was 3 of them tapped on. And guess what? During the day, those people didn't have any water. It's a 1/2-inch pipe. You got three 1/2-inch coming off, and you turn that water on during the day. They had no pressure at all, and I had tons of pressure. So, but that house still has that water over there, and it's cheaper than here. The water here is kind of expensive compared to what we were paying, especially when you don't have it all the time. You'd think me not having water, it's pretty much, I'd have to say, about 1/3 of the month we have no water upstairs at all. A little bit downstairs. If I flush the toilet, it'll take, when the water is real low, when they don't fill the tank, it could take 15-20 minutes to fill the toilet tank. So we're flushing with buckets if we have to use the toilet a lot. This is just what we have here. And my wife had talked to the lady down there, and she said it's the owner of this development that doesn't want to pay for the thing inside the tank. She said they ask him on a regular basis, come on, but let's put something in there so we don't have to send guys down all the time to fill this water. And the more houses that go in here, guys, the less and less water we're going to have. It's just, it only stands to reason. Right now, that tank is only lasting 2 days. Basically 2 days, and they got to fill it up. I don't know why they just don't put that on the schedule. Why they just don't come down every single morning as part of their job, open up the valve, and fill it. I'm not understanding why they just don't do that. They know that it runs out in 2 days, so this way it won't. And that way, if they miss a day that they can't get in, if they do it every day, they can. It would probably be fine, but that's not how they do business here in the Philippines. They're sort of, it's like when it comes to vehicles and stuff, what I've noticed in motorbikes and stuff, what they do here is they run to failure. You know what I mean? You look like these Jeepney guys. I see them. We used to live across the street from a Jeepney repair place, engine remanufacturer type guy, and they just leave that oil in there and they just run them until that motor blows. Change the oil before. I just add to it. You know, they don't. Why would they change the oil? And these things, most of them just billow smoke. And they don't care. Same with the bikes. They run everything to failure. I've seen, you know, that's why I'm really hard pressed to try to find anything used here. You know, if you buy a used vehicle, you know, what I see here since I've been here, if they have a good used vehicle, somebody in their family would get it. They're not going to let it go if it's a good one. They sell it when it's a bad one. They sell it, you know, if they need money or something, maybe. But so many used cars I looked at. That's why I decided I'm going to get new, because so many of the used cars were just shot. I mean, you smell the oil, and it just had a real metallic smell to it. A lot of times they'll pull the idiot lights out, so you can't see that there's a problem, and just a lot of things wrong. A lot of these vehicles overheat. Took one for a ride. The guy brought it in to work, and I was thinking, oh, I'm going to check this vehicle out. It was a small little Nissan, an older one. It was a 90s, but he didn't want that much for it, and he said, I'm going to bring it into work. Well, instead of me going out at lunchtime, I happened to see him when he pulled in. He's like, no, don't drive it. Let's not drive it now. We got to get it. No, I got you. You know, I was the supervisor. I says, no, I got you. You're already in. You're not scheduled. You're scheduled for training. And he was kind of really trying to talk me out of it. And you know why? Got in the thing and drove it up the road. It was overheating. You know, and he wanted to hide that fact. He figured if I drove it around just a little bit at lunchtime, and of course he didn't have much gas in it. So, you know, I passed on that one, but sure could have been something that easy to fix, maybe. But that's what you got to watch out for when you're here. I personally recommend, if you get a vehicle here, that you should just bite the bullet and buy a new one. If you got a few bucks, get a new one. Then you know what you got. Like this one here, we're taking real good care of it. It gets synthetic in the gearbox. It's got synthetic in the motor. The brake fluid, I had the brake fluid taken out. It's supposed to be every 3 years, but I did it after 2 because it started, the color was changing a little bit. I just had the motor cleaned again, and these guys did a real good job underneath. I paid a little bit extra to have the underbody wash, where they really got under there and cleaned it good. And gotta keep her up. I gotta keep this buggy up. It's a fantastic car. And what's a Honda? You know, you can't really go wrong, but this is not good. My fiberglass arm, that's going to be failing before you know it. I don't really know why we don't really even need this thing. You know, I don't know. They put wipers on everything now. To me, that's just ridiculous. I don't know. But I said this before, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. You guys take her easy, and this is Rickshaw out.